No, I'm glad you're back. We got a story to tell you, and it's a good one.
This was a model 1860 Colt that my grandfather owned. And what it was actually a 6-shooter, but it was a cap and ball. You still had to sit there, put your powder in, put your ball in, and cram it. That's what the slot there originally for. And you had a thing here that came down, and you crammed it in. Well, then after the Civil War ended and cartridges came out, they had all these weapons, they converted them. So in 1872, a person named Richardson made up a conversion for the Colt. This was the first conversion they did for the cartridge guns. And some of the more interesting things is when people look, like here you see where the gap is and everything, and you don't see that on any 6-shooters now or anything. People ask why. Well, that's because there was a mechanism at one time where this would break, and then they added this up here to it, where you have to now actually have to eject the shells. It wasn't a personal piece that my grandfather used or anything. You know, I was always hoping to get about $4,000 to $5,000 out of it, I'll be honest with you. I said, well, it's worth that. But you know, after the research I did, about $25,000 to $3,000 is probably really what it was going to be an expected price. So after coming down here and talking to the experts at the Treasure Hunters Roadshow, considering the condition of the gun, they made a very good offer. So I decided to sell my gun, and I'm going to go home with my check for $2,500.
They say Texas has more real-life cowboys than any other state. Me, I'm all hat and no cattle. Oh! But actual pieces from the American West can be very valuable, and I found someone with a whole heap of treasures. Meet Bruce Bartlett. What are the most collected pieces?
Basically anything that would have been used or encountered by an early day cowboy or cowgirl. They're considered by many collectors today to kind of be a bridge to a simpler time when a man's word was his bond. And for the first time in the last 40 years, they're being collected as art, and they become very valuable. They had both a function and then they were fashion. This bit and spur set here I'm particularly proud of. They were made by a maker out of Tulia, Texas, which is in the Texas Panhandle, J.O. Bass. He was in business from about 1900 to about 1924. He made about 2,200 pairs, and this is a gal leg, very desirable pair, double mounted. And the lady's leg at the time when these would have been made would have been very risque for the particular cowboy that wore them. It was really making a statement. And something else interesting about this particular pair, it showed some of the vices that the trail cowboy might come in contact with. Gambling, a popular motif on early spurs. You see the heart swinging buttons and you see diamonds. They've also got the maker's name right on the side. He marked every pair that balances by number back to a ledger he kept on the pairs he made.
And what is the value of something like this now?
Today's worth $15,000 to $20,000. When he made them, he got about $15 for the set.
Bruce wrote a fascinating book about spurs, and that's spurring me to see what's going on back at the roadshow. Spurs. See, get it? How I did use the word spurs twice? Now it's time to see if they're going to pull the trigger and make the deal.
Well, I've done my research on this, and there was actually a TV show in Philadelphia in the 60s called Happy the Clown. So that's where this item came from. I do think I can find a collector for it. I do have somebody interested in the item, so I can make you an offer today of about $225. How's that sound?
Oh, pretty good.
Great.
It's a deal.
Okay, great.
Now it's time to play Treasure Hunters Trivia. You guys excited? Anybody? Davey? Travis? Other guy? Who's the creator of the Spider-Man comics?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire? No, Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man, no?
Spider-Man himself.
Spider-Man himself. You think Spider-Man wrote his own comic?
Of course. Autobiography.
Never really into comics?
It's a short name.
I mean, he went on these adventures, and then he went home and he wrote these comics. Is what you think?
His last name was Spider, so he just added the man.
Okay, so his name's like Bill Spider. That's his name. It's Bill Spider.
I gotta be right.
You are so close to being right, but you're incorrect. You're wrong. What are you reading? Like Us magazines? Us magazine. Sure. Okay, so you want to guess somebody from Us magazine? Can you give maybe it was Justin Bieber?
You look better in person than on television.
God bless you. Maybe the name's on here somewhere. You think it is? It's not. It's not on there.
They
Julie,
didn't
right?
have Spider-Man when I was a kid.
They didn't have Spider-Man when you were a kid?
87 years
No,
ago.
Are you really 87?
almost 88.
Really?
And I still tap dance. You want me to show you?
Yeah, absolutely, I do.
Other way.
Other way.
Not both feet.
Everybody doing it? Nice job, dude. You think you know the answer to this?
No.
Well, you might. You might. It's a short name. Who was the creator of the Spider-Man comic?
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee is absolutely correct. Yay! Way to go, Joe! Way to go, Joe! This comic book, in perfect, pristine condition, could be worth $50. So, yeah, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Whew. All this plain is hard work. We'll be back right after this. All right, fine. I wasn't playing. Eddie was playing.